Hello everybody, Happy New Year and welcome to the first video of 2024. So I thought I'd just do a very quick update. This is really all that's going to be at the moment because we're in the dead of winter, really not getting too much going. So just got, as you can see, some leafy greens growing in here. Most of them are buttercrunch lettuce, I believe. At the back we've got a bit of a part of the salad mix. I think this is French parsley, and I think this might be something from that, or it might be buttercrunch. I'm not too sure yet. It's too small to figure that out. But we have had quite a few strawberries growing, so that's one good bonus here. As you can see, we've got one that's turning ripe here. We did have quite a few. Unfortunately, as I was away, the watering wasn't as consistent as it needed to be, so some of these didn't really form. So I'm just going to have to cut these off. Did have a couple of problems. I'll discuss that, especially in the garage while I was away. But you know, I was away. What much more could be done? My wife doesn't obviously want to take care of any of this, so but I do need to fill these up. As you can see, this guy, I think it needs a full filling. I think that's completely empty now, so going to do that after this video, but I just thought I'd get a video out and get that update going. So that's really all that there is in the basement at the moment. Once all of these are done, once I've harvested these, obviously the strawberries I will keep and likely plant outside in the summer, but once they're done, then basically at that point we will be using this area for the heating mats as well as the grow light. And I do have a new, and unfortunately this camera's not cooperating with me, we do have a new plug. So this is the TP-Link Casa plug rather than the individual plugs. This one is going to be much better because I can put it up on the wall just behind. Need to do a bit more cable management better back here, but that was for the old setup, so I need to do a bit more work on that, get it nice and tidy, make sure everything's in order. And the fan is going in there, and the fan is now, oh never mind, the fan is now operating at full speed. So if I press it 3 times, I get the full speed out of it, whereas previously when I was in the UPS up there I wasn't. So they're the little updates right now. I will go into the garage and just give a quick update from there. Okay, so welcome to the garage, and as you can see the setup hasn't really changed. This camera is annoying me, I just need to fix it. So we still have basically a lot of junk in the corner here right now. We've got the strawberries in here, we've got some pots down at the bottom there, and then I'm storing the excess stuff that really is related to the garden, so the watering pots and the arches there for the mini greenhouse, as well as I put some wood in there. One piece was over there, it's shifted, but this is more for insulation at the bottom as much as I can. Obviously this is on the concrete floor down here, so we want to keep as much insulation as possible. So I do have cardboard underneath, not that I don't think that's doing too much. At the back you can't really see, but I do have a bit of the what normally would be the fabric for outside. I've got that at the back there, insulating against the wall, because the wall will be one of the coldest places possibly. And then obviously I've got the dirt in there. So it looks like the lime plant is actually taking to this pretty well. It's still alive, which I am happy about. I'm not too sure about the pepper plants at the back. I'm not too worried about them. I've got plenty of seeds to start them again if I really need to. One thing I did have a problem with, unfortunately, so we've got everything along here. You can see it's nice and empty now along the sides and everything, and that's because we've just got a plug-in car. So I've done a little bit of a sketchy setup here, where I've got an IKEA hook for the electric plug. The electric plug is here. It's meant to be hanging up here. I don't know why it went down. So while I was away, my wife plugged that in, and unfortunately the garage light just went off, so I just need to switch this one on, give us a bit more light. Yeah, she plugged it in, and unfortunately we found that it's on the same circuit as the microwave. So having the car and the microwave plugged in blew the fuse. My wife had a hard time figuring out which fuse was blown. It really didn't affect too much, so she wasn't bothered. But that meant going to scroll up on this, my grow light was affected as well. So basically everything in the garage here was on the same fuse. I do need to get the electrics looked at because now we've got an electric vehicle, well, plug-in vehicle at least. We need to figure out the best solution, get a circuit dedicated just for that, maybe get the garage on its own and do all of that because we've got quite a few things going in the garage here. So everything's to the side, the car fits in nice, we're able to plug it in, everything's great from that. I do need to figure this out because this is a bit too bulky. As you can see, we've got space here that really we could have a bit more space from the greenhouse. It's a bit too big, so I'm gonna look for a plan for next year. For now it works, but yeah, again, always looking at ways to improve things. I can maybe give this to the in-laws because they've got a nice big garage, but we'll figure something out. So yeah, so as you can see, some of the leaves did get a bit of damage from that. So especially this guy, they're very wet at the moment because I did some watering yesterday, so it's very humid in there. But today's too cold to leave this open for too long, so I'm going to be closing this shortly. But yeah, so that's really the story of what happened while I was away. Did have a great trip while I was away, but obviously glad to be back with my plants. I would prefer if I could be over in England with my plants, but hey, can't have everything unfortunately. So yeah, just going to carry on and see how this goes. It looks like it's doing great. We're not in the coldest part of winter yet, so again, I am monitoring. I do have an alert on this guy. I am monitoring what's going on, and we'll continue to see. So thanks very much for tuning in. It was meant to be a quick update. It went a bit longer than planned, but yeah, I will look to do a video maybe once every week or 2 weeks if I've got anything to show, maybe just a few little updates. But yeah, thanks very much for tuning in, and I will speak to you soon.